Hey everybody, 1223 back for the third of the four of the five lanterns I'm going to mention. I'll also point out that one you have already seen before. It's just that some changes have been done to it. So there is a sixth one that I will bring up that is actually getting glass blasted. We sent it down to get glass blasted here yesterday, so that one will be in a video here shortly, probably within the next week. So this is a Baltimore and Ohio Railroad locomotive. It's marked Loco on it. Lantern made by the Keystone Lantern Company. This is one of the two models they manufacture. This is the Casey. The other one they made was the Keystone, and I'll get the difference between the two. Now, the Keystone Lantern Company has no relation to the Keystone Ware boat signal lantern that I used to have. So I'm going to go over the details of this very interesting and very unusual lantern. Now, their biggest customer was the Pennsylvania Railroad, PRR. That was the most common ones you can find. Now, this lantern, when we got it, this lantern was one of the worst lanterns that we'd ever purchased. It was rusted beyond belief. It really was. I mean, if we probably hadn't got it, it probably would have ended up in a pile of scrap metal in a couple of years. But you can see it's marked BNRR. You can notice too in the shine. This was the first lantern we got glass beaded, and you can notice too in the shine there's a lot of pitting on this lantern, and this lantern was rusty, very rusty. And you can see there that's marked Loco. Now I'm not sure if this meant that this was used on a locomotive or if it was used in a locomotive department. I've seen it marked both ways. I've seen it marked locomotive department, just loco, which means locomotive, and I'm just not sure exactly what it means. But you can see up here on the top, Keystone Lantern Company. There are a couple dents there. USA, yeah, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's exactly why it was the biggest customer for the PRR. I'm going to open this lantern up and start to show you this lantern. Now the primary reason we got this lantern was for the globe. And this is this lantern carries what I'd like to call a money globe. You can see too on the this lantern was the first lantern we found out how to take the globe retainer out of. And if we would have known this about 6 to 7 months earlier, we probably could have fixed our Adlick Reliable Switchman's lantern on our own. But we had to send somebody to get it replaced, get it fixed up. But hang on, it's a kind of a tight fit here. But this, you can see it says safety first, B&O RR, and then the Capitol building. This was the B&O logo, and this was only used on a small number of B&O globes. Most of them are just marked B&O RR, and sometimes they're either etched or embossed Loco, depending on whether they had it or not. And you can see too, there's a nice air bubble right there. That's what tells you it's an older glass. It was made by Corning, was as usual, but the B&O Capitol building globe is what I'd like to call a money globe. And there's only a couple money globes out there. Money globes include Virginian Railway globes, Monon Railway globes, B&O Capitol building globes, the Union Pacific Overland Route globe with the Union Pacific shield on it. And there's a couple more out there, but there's just not too many of them. Usually the globes with the big logos on them are the money globes, unless it's a very small road, like like the Boyne City, Gaylord, and Alpena. In fact, I know somebody actually has a bell-bottom Casey of the Boyne City, Gaylord, and Alpena, which was only 68 miles long, and it was in the northern portion of the Michigan Lower Peninsula. And I know somebody that has it, and they tried to sell it to me for $1,000, and I had to back down on it. But by the way, there's one locomotive that survives. It's out in the arcade in Attica from the Boyne City. But anyway, back to this lantern. Now the unique part about the Casey lantern is about the Casey model. Now the Keystone model that was made by the Keystone Lantern Company just had your standard wick razor. And here's what's so special about the Caseys, too, that make them so unique. The Caseys had a patented burner wick raising system. Now you see this, now you see all these little lips in here, and then you see the burner knob. That acts like a gear. And then this is screwed right here, and you see this is a knob. We also had to do some soldering on this because it did go through it a couple places. You can see like there, but that's not part of the tank. There should be, yeah, there's one teeny tiny hole right there. It still has to get filled in. But when you take and you twist this knob down here at the bottom, watch what the wick raising does. It acts like a screw and it raises it up, which means that this thing could be, which means this thing could be in the lantern and you wouldn't have to open the lantern up to adjust it, or it wouldn't be sticking out of the outside. So that means that, and these things are only made for about 20 years. Now that might not, now it might seem like a long time to most people when you consider like the Adlake Reliable, how long that was made. That's pretty dang short. And burners and founts for these are extremely hard to find, and if you find one, you're just best off keeping it and just waiting for one, because they go for bucks. I've seen founts like this go for like 50, 60 bucks on eBay, because you know they're not easy to find at all. So all right, now I gotta stick this back in, push it in, take and twist it so the clip locks in. And then you put your globe back in there, the B&O Capitol Building globe. But that originally was the primary reason for the globe. In fact, we've seen the globe alone. There's actually one on there right now that's up to 70 bucks, just the globe alone. So that tells you that this is a money globe. And sometimes there are etched versions of the money globes too. I've seen etched versions of the B&O. I've seen etched versions of the Union Pacific. I've seen etched versions of many other railroads. They'll go for money, but nowhere near as much as the embossed ones. But new lantern from the Keystone Lantern Company in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, marked for the B&O Railroad. This was actually the first one I've seen marked for the B&O Railroad. All the other ones I've seen have been either unmarked or Pennsylvania railroads. So, that's all I got for this lantern, and I'm going to bring up another one, and then I'm going to talk about 2 more lanterns, and then that'll be it for this big update. And I will mention a couple other things too. So, stick around for those. 1223 out.